All right, guys. Obviously, it's a great team win by our football team. Vince Davis had a heck of a day. He ran like a big dog. For a little guy, that guy's got a lot of power, a lot of quickness. Open up the game with a big long run. Still kick too many field goals in the red zone. And again, disappointed in some of the penalties near the end. But we'll go back and look at the tape and see what happened there. But overall, our kids played their tails off. It's hard to get ACC wins on the road, and our guys hung together and grinded it out.
Pat, obviously you want to establish a run in every game, but was there something about Georgia Tech where you thought you guys could do it tonight?
No, not really. I mean, we got into, we had, new play. That first play was like a trap. The first play of the game, which was, just a, great way to start fast. We talked about, starting fast compared to what we did, our last outing when we started really, really slow like a turtle. But our guys started fast and we had our foot on the gas, and, our O-line, blocked well, and our running backs ran hard. So, again, is it Clemson? No, it's Georgia Tech. And again, it's a great win.
Pat, even getting to 11 wins, I mean, you've mentioned it before this season, just kind of earning game by game the opportunity to play and getting to the end of the regular season here with only one postponement. I mean, what can you kind of say about not only your players, but kind of the way you guys approach this season?
It talks to the culture of our football team and our program. There's a lot of people just canceling games left and right for whatever reason. They can't do the right things off the field. And our kids have made the sacrifice to get to 11. And it's hard. It's not easy. Our kids made sacrifices. They've been on this campus since June 8th. It's been a long year. It's 3 tests a week. It's a grind. It's a grind like no other season will ever have, ever again. I sure hope. And it just tells you our kids do the details off the field. Maybe the details off the field are better than on the field. But it's been a long year, and our kids get the credit. I mean, they got it done, and we haven't had one staff member ever come down with anything, and a knock on wood. Again, we're doing the right things, and again, I thank our UPMC and all our medical personnel, Dr. Mayers and Dale Thornton, our trainer. Just it's a constant reminder to these kids to not let their guard down.
What were your conversations like with Rashad and DeMar before this game?
Excuse me?
What were your conversations like with Rashad Weaver and DeMar Hamlin before this game?
Great. We had conversations all through the week, totally support those guys. They had decisions they had to make for personal reasons, and great conversations. They did what they had to do. It gives other guys opportunities to go make plays. Eric Howett started to the field and had a nice game. I think started off with an interception, and I think the first play on defense. So again, just an opportunity to move on to 2021, and hopefully it's not a COVID year.
Is there anything specific you can chalk up the red zone failures to tonight, or was it just Tech playing good defense? Or
we'll look at the tape to find out exactly. Was it play calling? Was it execution? I mean, there's always a little bit of both. It's on everybody. When we don't score touchdowns down there, late. The disappointing one was late in the game. We got a 15-yarder. We would have had first and goal after they had a personal foul, and someone stole someone's towel on the other team, and our guy grabbed it back and got 15 yards for trying to get his towel back. So I think they watched too much NFL football. It was one of those follies where someone stole a towel, and all of a sudden they steal a towel from us, and we get 15 yards for getting it back. So it's just some crazy stuff. That was the last one that we took and got 3 points, but that should have been a touchdown too. So we got to execute when we get down there. We got to be smart.
And it seemed extra chippy. What were the emotions like down there on the field?
It was a fun game. I mean, chippy is good. We just got to be smart. I don't want any 15-yard penalties. Those will drive you nuts. I mean, it's a discipline deal, and I don't like it. And it's an emotional game out there, and the kids are playing hard. But we got to be smarter.
Would you have liked to have had a longer conversation with Jeff Collins after the game?
I just said, hey, you got a great team, and he said that's baloney, I guess, and nice words, and walked off. I don't know. I thought it was a good game.
Pat, you said earlier this week that last year Georgia Tech gave you fits down in Atlanta. Was there any point tonight, maybe early on when you're stalling in the red zone, that you kind of felt like a little bit of deja vu with what was going on?
It's a football game, Amanda. I mean, it's going to be a back and forth. There's going to be ups and downs in every game. I tell our kids that every pregame before we walk out there that we stick together. And, we knew it was going to be a dogfight. They're a tough football team. They play hard. They're going to play for 60 minutes, not 58, 59. They're going to play, for an entire game. And our guys stuck it out. And again, that's what football is. There's no easy games, period, in the ACC.
Pat, on Monday, you said you intended, if invited, you'd go to a bowl game. Is that still your intention?
That's my intentions. I mean, I don't make all those calls. I saw BC, opted out of a bowl game. And those are decisions that, are above my pay grade. But, we obviously always want to go play another one, like to play 12.
Pat, you talked all season about, trying to break one with Vincent Davis in the run game, and he broke several. What was like your conversations with him like throughout the game, or just what you saw from him as things were working, his focus and just his persistence throughout the year to keep trusting his line and then it paying off in the last game of the regular season?
Vince Davis is, pound for pound, that guy's one of the toughest guys on our football team. And he gets tossed around. Sometimes he just keeps swinging. Our O-line did a heck of a job pushing the pile at times. That last drive and, with some of those, where they had to burn all 3 timeouts, was just just a gutty performance by our offense, in general. So that won the game, that drive right there. That was big time. Drained the clock and gave them little time. Then our defense in a 2-minute drill at the end just held on. We talked about just bending. Don't give it to them easy. Keep everything in front of us. They hit a couple check downs and, overall, just a heck of a performance.
Do we have a final question before we get to our players?
Yeah, Pat, you mentioned Gutty and Kenny Pickett. I mean, it seemed like he was running around a lot, making plays with his legs tonight. He normally does that, but that was probably his last game in the ACC. I mean, what can you say about just the way that he handled himself tonight and the way that he played?
Kenny's a tough son of a gun. When he's running our offense, everybody's got a lot of confidence in him, and he's making calls out there, making plays. Had a couple of quarterback sneaks that were big time. Kenny Pickett is a I didn't realize that's his last ACC game. You're right. But Kenny Pickett, love that guy.
Big Pat, because you're playing a lot of young guys now. Is a bowl game even a little more important to get an extra snaps and a little more practice for these guys?
I don't know how many extra practices we'll get. We need to be smart in this COVID time. It's not about getting extra snaps for our kids. It's just about being smart, being safe, and doing what's right.
All right, congrats.
This year, I'm not worried about getting as many extra practices. That's not what it's going to be all about.